Hello there, I'm Connor McCarthy, the Marketing and Development Coordinator for Nora's Home. I'm thrilled to be joined this morning by David and Sarah Ayres. As you may recall, Dave made international headlines earlier this year when he became the first emergency backup goaltender to record a win in NHL history. Dave and Sarah also have a special connection to the Nora's Home mission. Thank you both for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Dave, for those members of our community who are perhaps less familiar with hockey events, could you tell us about your NHL moment?
Yeah, so NHL has an emergency goalie at every one of their home games, and I'm the one who does the Toronto home games. And that night, February 22nd, Carolina Hurricanes, both of their goalies got injured. So that was my kind of call to get in there. And it's not something that happens every day, obviously. But I get into the net and made 8 out of 10 saves, and we won the game. So it was a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Incredible. And you're also a kidney transplant recipient. Would you share the story of your transplant journey with our guests and supporters?
Yeah, I had a transplant in 2004. My mom was the donor. Obviously, I was a younger kid, 25, when I was sick, so I wasn't really sure what was happening to me. And then, needless to say, I had all the tests done and I needed a kidney transplant. So my mom was the first one to jump on board and get tested, and right away she was a match. So we ended up kind of getting everything moving, and it was pretty much a year from the time that I found out that I was sick to the time I had my kidney transplant and at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto. And they were great. And now I go to the clinic visits once a year and do my blood work every 3 months, and I'm pretty much doing what I want to do.
That's great, and we're so thankful for all of our living donors. I know many of our current and former guests will identify with your story. Thank you for sharing it. And now, Sarah, at Nora's Home, we know the essential part that caregivers play each and every day. Could you speak about your role as a partner in this transplant journey? What, if any, have been the biggest surprises? Are there any lessons that you've learned along the way?
The biggest surprises would be to see how he actually copes day to day, where you kind of think being a transplant recipient, you wouldn't have the full range of a life that you do, and nothing stops him. Like he's fantastic, and he keeps on going. And I think that's been the biggest shock for me, the biggest surprise with it all. Like nothing has stopped him along this. And I think my role is basically making sure he stays on top of his meds, and then doctor's appointments are scheduled, and the blood work is done every 3 months, and that's my role with it.
Great. Well, we thank you and all of the caregivers in the transplant community. And finally, do you guys have anything you'd like to say to the patients and families staying at Nora's Home?
Yeah, I would say, stay strong, support each other. You've got a great thing happening there. So just kind of stay with each other, keep on smiling, and have a good goal set for your future. I know for me personally, I set a goal of getting back on the ice and playing hockey, and I didn't let anything stop me. So I think it's the best thing for people going through any medical condition to make sure you've got a goal and focus on that, and don't give up. And then I always say, keep smiling.
Fantastic. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today, and thank you also for all of your hard work on behalf of the transplant community. I know once it's safe to travel again, we'd be absolutely delighted to welcome you both to Nora's Home. And for those of you watching at home, information on how you can help Nora's Home this Giving Tuesday is available on all of our social channels. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.